Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am sharing my home fragrance empties. So this is all the home fragrance that I have used this week. I have a little bit of Scentsy and more vendor wax, but in general I don't have a ton of wax that I went through this week. I was out of town for a few days, so don't have as much as I normally would. But I'll start with Scentsy. Timestamps, as always, will be in the description box. I am a Scentsy fragrance consultant. I love Scentsy. I love vendor wax. I love any home fragrance, regardless of who makes it for the most part. I love home fragrance. So the first bar from Scentsy that I went through is Meant to Be Merry. I love this scent so much. It's a really nice peppermint and more buttermint cookie scent. The notes are crushed candy cane, sugar, and butter cookie. So I know that this one's marketed and kind of leans very Christmas holiday, but I like peppermint at any time during the year. I think it's a very calming, soothing scent. I love peppermint in the summer because it kind of gives a Christmas, a coolness to the air when it's really hot. And then I love these types of scents for my bedroom. So that's where I ended up melting this one in my bedroom. And it's just a very relaxing, soothing peppermint. Has a lot of the butter cookie notes as well. So it's more like a buttermint than straight up strong peppermint. I love this fragrance, and this was definitely a winner when it came out. I think it was a scent of the month the first time this came out, and then it's been back since then. Really enjoy that one. Then I went through two of White Pumpkin and Driftwood. This is currently available in the fall winter catalog. I did one in my bedroom and one in this wax room. This is such a nice fall pumpkin scent without being overly spicy. The best way I can describe this is that it leans like very bougie pumpkin. It makes me think of walking into like a fall boutique or something like that. It's very upscale. It smells, I don't know, not fall spice, but almost fall perfumey a little bit. But it's pumpkin. It's got a little bit of spice to it. It's just a beautiful bar. I don't have the notes, or I would share the notes, but I have many of these, and it's just a classic homey fall fragrance. Really enjoy White Pumpkin and Driftwood. And those two bars I left in my warmers for like 2 or 3 days before I took them out. So that was it for Scentsy. It was short and sweet this week. I have a lot of just vendors that I have one item from. First, we'll do Lavender and Speckles. I melted a clamshell of Tobacco Harvest. So this was a scent that I recently got in her Leaves sampler. This one is Leaves Type and Tobacco Flower. I loved this. This was so pretty. This is definitely the Bath & Body Works Leaves, which I know that not everybody loves, but I love Bath & Body Works Leaves. It's one of my absolute favorite fragrances. So you take that, and then the Tobacco Flower just adds a little bit of a freshness to this, but it's also kind of musky leaning. This is gorgeous. I'm not a huge tobacco person, so I was a little bit nervous about this one at first, but it is so pretty. I think it just adds a little bit of freshness and just a really nice outdoorsy quality to an already a very outdoorsy fragrance, but just screamed fall. Really enjoyed that one. Been really enjoying these Clams in the Leaves sampler in general. Next, from Southbound Candle Co., finished off Haunted Hayride. And somebody sent this to me. I want to say it was maybe summer. There we go. It's not. It's trying to focus on my pictures back there, not my face or the wax. I think this was from summer, but I can't remember for sure. But summer, whoever it was, thank you so very much. Southbound was one of the first vendors that I got into when I started buying vendor wax. I loved a lot of her Halloween fragrances. That's what I first got introduced to from her. And then I haven't really purchased from Southbound too much since then for any particular reason. She has fantastic wax, but there's just so many vendors. I try to keep it fairly minimal from like who I'm buying from because it gets overwhelming quick. But I do really enjoy her wax. But this scent has notes of balsam, vetiver, cedarwood, fresh pine, crisp leaves, and berries. This was very nice. The name fit so well. You get a lot of the, I want to say vetiver. There's something very fresh about this, but very fall outdoorsy. It's a warm, sunny day, outdoorsy Halloween type of scent. Like you're going on a hayride. I don't think I really get hay from this, but I'm thinking it's the vetiver or maybe it's the cedar. There's something very fresh, woodsy about this fragrance. Perfect name, perfect for fall and Halloween. And I have to say, I'm so happy today. I need to not be filming videos and spend some more time outside, but it has been in the 80s all of October, which is very abnormal for us. Normally in October, the weather is cooler, and October is my favorite month. And I love the fall weather. I love the leaves changing, and we haven't really had that. It's been a continuation of summer here, unfortunately. And finally, we got a big storm yesterday, and this morning it was like 50 degrees. Right now it's in the 60s. It is so beautiful outside. It is a beautiful sunny fall day. I'm looking out my window now. So Rip and I took a really nice walk this morning when it was very crisp and cold. And then I'm hoping this afternoon I'll get out again and spend some more time outside because it is the perfect weather. But in any case, this type of scent makes me think of these nice, bright fall days. Then from Kay's, I melted a clam of Haunted House Season. I've talked about this one recently, how much I love this. This is just a fall Halloween staple fragrance for me. This is fallen leaves, apples, cloves, and pumpkin pecan waffles. Now her fall leaves is not as spicy as the Bath & Body Works kind. It's more of an earthy fall leaves. I get a lot of like the apple, the pumpkin pecan waffles. This is a very sweet bar with just the touch of the fall earthiness. I was really sad about Carla like closing Kay's, but then I saw on Facebook and Summer told me recently that she thinks she has somebody in her family that's going to take over the business. So I'm not really sure any details, or I haven't looked since then, but I very much am hoping that that is true and her wax can continue to be made, because this is one of my absolute favorite scents. And there's so many scents from her that are just staple classics for me, whether it's Halloween or tea and cakes or her tree scents. And this is just one that I don't want to be without. So I'm very, very happy that not only can she take the break and retire, but that her business and her legacy can carry on. So we'll have to see what happens with Kay's. Next, I finished a brittle from Knowles Farm Scents. This one is Autumn on the Farm. This one is pumpkin, cinnamon, clove, fir, and cedarwood. Melted this one throughout my open concept. This was a nice scent. I got a lot of the cedarwood, and it was very like fresh cedarwood. It reminded me a little bit of Pawpaw from Teddy B's, if you've had that scent. Not nearly as intense on the sawdust as that, but it smelled to me like sawdust or like a freshly made cedar chest or something like that when you get new wood furniture, that type of fragrance. So take that, but then add some creamy pumpkin, some spices to it. Really, really nice. It makes you think of, because of the name too, but it makes you think of a beautiful wood shop that you know, you just made a really nice cedar chest or cedar piece of furniture or something, and it's fall outside, so you're getting some of those fall fragrances. Not sure if it's one that I would get again per se, but I did enjoy this, and it was really, really pretty in the open concept. Then from Sassy Girl, I melted a brittle of Burning Leaves. And I have been just kind of hoarding and sitting on this one, waiting for the perfect moment to melt this. I loved this so much. This says, it evokes images of crackling fires, damp soil, and the changing seasons. The name is very true to what this smells like. It smells like you are at a campfire. It's smoky campfire. You have to like smoke, but you get kind of an earthiness to this too. This is gorgeous. So, so pretty. I love smoky scents, and I love vendors that can do smoky scents right. There are certain oils and there are certain vendors that I feel like do a really good job at making smoky scents be so authentic. Like you're sitting by your fireplace and you're burning real wood, like you're sitting out by a bonfire. Sassy Girl Aroma, I think, does that really well, and Destination is my favorite for that. Destination Wax has a few smoky scents that just smell to me so authentic. I think the way they do it is exceptional. But really enjoyed Burning Leaves. A great performance. This through all day long, and I just loved the smoky earthiness of this. Very happy to have melted that. Then the Candle Nurse, I have two from the Candle Nurse that are, you know, fall appropriate. First, I have Fall Foliage. This one is dried leaves, dried fruit, musk, and sugar cookie. This is a very spicy, musky, fall kind of earthy fragrance. I do get hints of the sugar cookie. There's something kind of sweet about this. Sometimes musk to me also pulls sweet. But this one I really did not get any throw from. If I did, it was very, very minimal. So not one that I would get again. Candle Nurse, I just, unfortunately, there's some scents that I absolutely love, and this being one of them. But for the most part, I just don't get the performance that I am looking for. This one, though, I love so, so much. The Cellar. I think most people, if you've tried the Candle Nurse, have probably at least heard about this scent. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend. To me, this is very similar or close to Wine Cellar from Bath & Body Works. So if you like Wine Cellar, if you like Wine Cellar from Destination, you would love this, and it is an absolute powerhouse fragrance. This one has notes of mulled apples, fresh fig, rosy nuances of pink pepper, warm musk, and cedarwood. Or like Hill Country Romance from Teddy B's. Similar fragrance. This is the perfect early fall scent. I've said this before, but it makes me think of The Parent Trap, and it makes me think of Nick's vineyard home and going down into the wine cellar to pick out a bottle of wine for dinner. That's what I think of when I smell this scent. And I'm sure a wine cellar doesn't smell as amazing as this, but this is sweet. You get kind of that wine, mulled apple note. It is so beautiful, and it's an incredible performer. Love that one. I have many more bags of that, I think 2 or 3. And then the last vendor I have is Teddy B's. So I've got 2 tubs and 3 souffles. So we can do the souffles first. First up is Fall in Love. And I think after this, I have officially finished all of my Teddy B's souffles that I have put in my fall melting basket. So now I'm working on my tubs and my loaves. So Fall in Love has notes of warm autumn spices, fresh pumpkin rind, charred marshmallows, cedar wood, and pine trees. This was just okay, and it wasn't one that I loved on cold. You definitely got the fresh pumpkin rind. There's something fresh pumpkin about this, a little bit sweeter. It's not as spicy as you might think. You get a lot of the cedar wood and pine. It's tree, fresh pumpkin, like little bits of spices. It was just okay. It wasn't the best performer, and I have to say, there's another one here that didn't perform amazing. 3 of them I really loved, and 2 of them were a little bit on the light side, this one being one. And I have to say, as I'm thinking back to the last month or so of empties, I feel like I've had a lot more misses with Teddy Bees than I ever have in the past. Normally I get great performance with 99% of her wax, or I should say like 95. Her bakery is hit and miss for me sometimes, but for the most part, I have gotten exceptional performance. That's one of the reasons that she is my #1 vendor, because I don't really struggle with her wax like other people do. Do I get duds occasionally? Of course. But I feel like more so in the last month, I've gotten more wax from her that hasn't performed the way I am wanting it to, or the way it has in the past. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Like I said, it's been hot here. I've had to keep the air on longer than, expected. And like today I do have some windows open, so I know that plays into it. But I just feel like things are a little bit different in the last month. So I'm really hoping that this is just something going on with me, my nose, the temperature changing outside, and going from windows to AC and back and forth. So I don't know. I'll have to keep seeing how this does and hope it's just a fluke. But Fall in Love, I think I might have another souffle of that, but that's not one that I would get again. And while we're kind of on that, let me talk about the one scent that I also did not really get great performance from, and that is Catacomb of the Witch. So I recently just posted about this scent on her Facebook. This smells so incredibly strong on cold, and it smells amazing. So I put this in my warmers thinking I was going to have no issues with performance, and it's in my open concept today. It is maybe a 2 out of 10. It is so incredibly light, I can barely smell it, and I'm so disappointed because I have been kind of saving this tub a little bit, and it's now 2 years old. And so I was like, okay, well, you need to melt it this fall because it's already 2 years old. So my 2023 wax is definitely a high melting priority. Catacomb of the Witch, dark plums, rich vanilla, black amber, bonfire bliss, and vanilla woods. This is a beautiful amber plum perfumey fragrance. My goodness, this is so stunning. I love the amber. That's very strong, that black amber. You get a lot of the vanilla, sweet plum. Bonfire Bliss, not really. Bonfire Bliss to me is a very smoky fragrance, and I don't really get anything smoky from this. It's so creamy and beautiful. I love this scent so much on cold, but I'm getting truly nothing from it, to the point where I'm walking into the house. Like, I've been out. I walked Rip this morning. I went to the gym. He didn't go with me. I went to the gym. Like, I've been in and out. And, when I walk into the house, I want to be able to smell it. And I don't think I've gone nose blind because I've been not just hanging out here all morning. So unfortunately, this one did not perform for me at all. Very disappointed with that because it is such a beautiful fragrance. So I don't think I would get this one again. I think I have enough Teddy Bees that I know I love and that performs well, that I don't need to stress with the stuff that doesn't. And yeah, hopefully it's just a fluke. But these last 3 are ones that I did get performance with. Whipstaff Manor. We all love this scent, or at least most of us do. If you like the earthy, atmospheric Halloween fragrances, this is entirely up my alley. I love this so much. I have a loaf left of this, thank goodness, because she hasn't offered it in a while. This one is from 2023 as well. This is crisp fall air, cedarwood, crunchy leaves, hints of apples and fall spice, toasted marshmallows, and charred pumpkin. This is so beautiful. This makes you think of Halloween. It makes you think of like sitting out on your porch on Halloween day or something, and you're handing out candy and the leaves are crisp and changing. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful atmospheric scent. You definitely get some of the spiciness. You get like a crunchy, earthy leaves. If you want a good Halloween fragrance, this one is beautiful. Did that one in my open concept, and very happy that I have a loaf of that. And then the last two I did in my bedroom. These are souffles, and neither of these were in my fall melting basket. So I have to say my fall melting basket, you can see them back there, two of them. I'm not getting through as much as I would have expected or wanted, because I'm not really wanting, scents like Whipstaff Manor in my bedroom. I'm wanting that out in the living space and the open concept. And then what I'm really craving right now for my bedroom is perfumey and lavenders and sweet and feminine. So I have been picking from my collection a lot, which is fine. That's my wax too that I need to melt, so it's not a problem. But because I'm kind of picking out of my collection a little bit more, I don't feel like I'm going through my fall melting basket as much, but that's okay. So for the bedroom, I have a lavender drawer in my bedroom that I pick from. I would say like once a week I go in there and I pull out something and melt in the bedrooms. And yesterday I did lavender cream. So I cut my souffles into 8 pieces, and I will do them in the 3 bedrooms back here. So lavender cream is lavender, marshmallows, and vanilla sugar waffle cone. It's just a classic lavender bakery scent. It leans a little bit Tiff's Favorite Lavender to me. Tiff's Favorite Lavender has some coconut milk notes. It's a little bit of a mix between herbal and sweet. That's what I get a lot from this. But then you get the marshmallows and the waffle cone. Really beautiful scent. Soothing, soft, perfect for the bedrooms. I have another souffle of that, I think, in that drawer as well. And then lastly, today I put it up throughout the bedrooms, Troy. So this is one that I almost did not buy, and I am so glad that I did. So Troy is the Fleur father figure type. And to me, this scent, it could be unisex, but to me it leans a little bit more masculine. But I could see this as a very unisex fragrance. So this one has notes of lush fig, cassis, water lily, creamy sandalwood, Madagascar vanilla, skin musk, and sheer patchouli. And then it says for dad on it. So I think her dad is named Troy, if I had to guess. And this was her kind of homage to him. When this scent was offered, I did not get it at first in my first pre-order because it had the note skin musk. And I thought, no. That draws a line. Nothing that says skin musk is a scent that I want in my life. Like, it's not going to be for me. And then I think we kind of figured out, or somebody was talking about that maybe it was the Fleur father figure perfume type. And so I ended up going in and getting a couple of souffles. And this is absolutely outstandingly beautiful. Oh gosh, this is so good. This is cologne in some ways, but it's not, it's hard to even to say this is cologne. I would almost say this is like a body wash. It's very aquatic, very fresh, aquatic type of cologne. This is so beautiful. It almost just smells like fresh, clean air, like crisp air. So I'm melting this throughout all the bedrooms today, and it's not the strongest performer ever, but it's a scent that when I walk into the room, you're like, oh, like it hits you lightly in your face. It's not in my face, but it's like you walk into a room and it just smells airy and crisp and fresh. I'm assuming it's like the water lily, the cassis. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. So I have one more souffle of this, which I'm really happy about. And then I also have Second and Spruce has a version of Father Figure that she did. And I have a tub of that. So I'm good on this scent for a little while. But oh my gosh, is that not just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance? But that is it for my empties. So I can put this in the trash and recycling and get that out and start fresh for the week. I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing everything I finished up this week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good week ahead, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.